Let's drive the T-Rex car. First, we're going to pull up the video, and there's a reason for that. So the video and the control interface run on two different ports. One of them uses the UV4L software, which requires HTTPS, and that runs on port 8090. And so this is the UV4L running at boot, and if we click here, we can actually dial into the webcam. So we use WebRTC with this UV4L program. And if you scroll down, if you want to send the microphone to talk out of the T-Rex, you check this box. We're not going to do that this time just because I think it'll interfere with our audio. And so if we scroll back all the way to the bottom and click call, we will actually connect to the webcam. There we have it. So you can see there's a T-Rex head cycling through the RGB LEDs. And when I pull up the web interface, there's a reason I did the video first. You get a nice little sound, right? Remember that one from the previous video? Check it out if you didn't see it.
You didn't say the magic word.
You didn't say the magic word. Okay, so we're connected to the car over here for the control interface. Let's get this out of the way and let's focus on the control interface because there's a lot going on here. So we've got basically sliders for all the aspects of how you control this thing. You can hear the steering motor going when I drag it. It's kind of, moves around a little bit. So steering output shows all the data here. We have the set point, which is just showing you this number. This is a 0 to 1,000. 0 to 1,000. And then the current is, what the reading back from, how we're reading the steering position, and that's calculated off the ADC value. The ADC is the analog digital converter, and the error is, calculation of these two. So this is a percentage, so 0.5% off between 502 and 497. I don't know if that maths out, but it's working. So those error values are fed into the PID for the steering. That's what this is. You can change your PID, proportional, integral, and derivative constant. So technically, I think I'm just using a PD controller. And these numbers seem to work fantastic for me. So if you scroll down, we also have this awesome chart that shows you the set point and the position of the steering. So if we make this bigger, go all the way full screen, we can see both of them at once. So we drag the steering. There you go. You can see we set the motor to a position and the motor responds and takes you there. That's the magic of PID control loops. So that was really cool. This was useful for tuning the PID. You can see once it kind of hums, if you go too far, it'll sometimes do that. Still got to work out a few bugs there. If you scroll down, there's kind of like a debug text down here. Not much going on there at the moment. I kind of pared it all down once everything started working. So we've got pan tilt. We don't really want to touch the throttle yet. Pan tilt, let's manipulate those a bit. And what do you know, they work. So left and right are in fact reversed right now. That was to get it to work correctly on the Xbox controller. We got pan, we got tilt. Oh, look at that, you can see the bottom of the car. There's the bottom of the car. Oh, don't go too far. Okay, and we got the jaw. You can hear it, so you know it's working. Very cool. Look at that. See, that's interesting. The error on the ADC for the steering changes if I manipulate the jaw, it seems like. Because this is just the ADC value reading the voltage, and if I manipulate a motor, guess what? Those are connected to power, and they will dip your voltage because motors are crazy like that. So that was a lot of the challenges I had to work through here. So that's basically all the sliders, and we talked about, throttle is pretty straightforward. Don't really need to talk about that. We talked about steering, PID constants. These are kind of internal things. If you want to stop the steering when the steering was going crazy, I kind of had some of this stuff going on. We'll get to the gamepad, and here we got the sounds. We can cycle through the sounds here. Yep. So we can hear the jaw move when that happens too. We can go to the next sound.
You didn't say the magic word.
Yep, we got more of those. And next LED style. This will cycle through the various LED styles. And if we go all the way to the right, there's a box here that shows Arduino commands. So this is actually sending the commands over the serial. This one kind of is too. The next LED style, because the LEDs are controlled by the Arduino. So if we want solid colors or blinking, we can say 1. That's red. You can see the head is red over here. 2, green, 3, blue, 4, white. And then we've got 5 is blick. That's a misspelling. It should say blink. 5 is blink red. And we've got 6, blink green, 7, blink blue, 8, blink white. And so that is Arduino commands. And you could send text. So if I say T means text, instead of sending a 1, you know, this will be on the OLED. So you send text, that'll show up on the OLED. And actually it's T1 for the first line. You could say T2 is what's going to be on the second line. So that's how I was displaying text on the OLED, and I made this little interface. You can send whatever text you want. So on line 1, show hello world. T1, hello world. Very cool. Okay, so let's drive the dang thing, huh? What do you say? Well, what we use to drive it is an Xbox controller. So once you connect up your Bluetooth, 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 wireless controller connected. Fantastic. Now we're ready to do something cool. Let's move this back over. And I'm using the Gamepad API for web browsers. And when you want to connect, you just press one button. Ooh, yowza. So I press the X key that does the X action, and that's what these labels here are to show what Xbox controller. And so now we see these values are also populated. So we don't need this anymore. Let's bring that back out of there. Okay, so right, left, that's the stick. Hey, and we're steering. How cool is that? So we got forward and reverse. And I'm not going to press those yet because we're not ready to drive. We got the servo, pan, tilt. So A cycles through the LED styles. So again, we're kind of like picking up where the cycle goes through the numbers 1 through 8. So we got blue, solid colors. There's a bit of a bug where the blinking doesn't stop if you switch to what's supposed to be a solid LED color. And we're back to white. Cool. So Y is next sound.
Clever girl.
Clever girl. Yeah. Okay. So pan, tilt. And the D-pad does incremental changes to the pan and tilt, which is useful if you want to drive. It's good to kind of point a little bit downwards, I find. Okay, so let's drive. So we go back to the video. I'm going to leave this window up. I'm going to put this window over here. Let's do this. We can do full screen. And now we can drive. Okay. We're in my basement. It's a filthy mess. Crash. There you go. So if you can make it through the challenges of this basement, this car is good to go. So the video is pretty real time. Pretty happy with that. UV4L using WebRTC is awesome. I think it's H.264 video, so it's super efficient. We're taking, I think, under 1 megabit of bandwidth right now. I think it's around 700K. I think it's 700 kilobits. Might be kilobytes. Hope it's not kilobytes, because I want to attach a cell phone to this next. But there you go. So that's driving the RC car. It works really well. Let's drive it some more. Oh, look at that. The LED lights are like reflecting on my cat. Holy crap. They're reflecting in his eyes. That's so crazy. Hey, where'd you go, cat? Oh, you can't trust a cat. They're sneaky. Yeah, he didn't go up there. I don't know where he went. Oh, hey, there you go. What are you doing under there, cat? Is that bad? Is it bad to do that to my cat? I don't know. He loves it. He's a great cat. Awesome. So that's the T-Rex RC car driving. Hope you enjoyed. In the next video, we're going to go over how I built it all and go over the code and everything. So stay tuned if you're interested. Thanks for watching.